Stop with me for just a sec and think about the last time that you were in a state or national park. When you were there, do you remember how much, if any, information was presented about the indigenous peoples of the area? Hi, my name's Josiah with Diversify Our Parks, and I am obsessed with the way that we talk about history in the great outdoors. And today, we're focusing in on Pacheco State Park, which sits on the traditional lands of the Yokuts people, native erasure and outdoor spaces, and how a few groups of indigenous people in what is now called California are working to write themselves back into our most prized natural spaces. Pacheco State Park sits nestled into the Diablo Mountain Range as you make your way to or from the San Francisco Bay Area. There are many beautiful things to see at this park. Rolling hills, a great view of the countryside, and if you're lucky, even some curious cows. But there is one thing that is unsurprisingly nowhere to be found. Overwhelmingly, even just the mention of native people groups throughout the California State Park system is not only underwhelmingly inadequate, but in most cases, completely non-existent. So I wasn't surprised when I went to this park and found absolutely no mention of the native peoples of the area, the Yokuts. But do you know what is all over the place throughout the entire California State Park system? Rocks and signs commemorating the most awfully brutal and heinous people throughout California state history. Near Pacheco State Park, the native daughters of the Golden West placed a plaque that reads, "On June 21st, 1805, Lieutenant Gabriel Morega, on his first exploratory journey into the San Joaquin Valley, traversed this pass and recorded it. Since then, it has been a toll road, stagecoach road, and freeways, the principal route between the coastal areas to the west and the Great Valley and mountains to the east." Wait, what year did this happen? 1805? You mean like 220 years ago? Compare this to the thousands of years this exact pass would have been used by the Ohlone, Yokuts, Chumash, Miwok, and so many other groups as trade goods revolved from Northern California all the way down to Baja California. We cheapen history by the way that we talk about it in the outdoors. The Spanish, after establishing the mission system, were kicked out of California within 65 years. The following Mexicans ruled for less than 30, and the United States federal government has illegally exercised power over this state for the past 180 years. Yet the only history that we can present in these natural spaces is from these incredibly short periods of time that, in my opinion, are super boring. The unspoken message is, if it's not history about someone from a Western colonial superpower, then it will not be told. If it doesn't hold up and support the power structures of capitalism and colonization, then you will never hear about it. I want to encourage the growth of our knowledge sets about the original inhabitants of these most beautiful places. In these public spaces, I want to know, how did these people live? How did the Yokuts handle civil disputes? How did they manage their water resources? How did they protect the natural environment? What were their trade agreements with the variety of different indigenous groups throughout the area? How did they make sure that everyone was fed and housed? And how are they still able to practice these principles in our modern world today?